Afternoon. Hope all of you had some good lunch and be able to. I'll make this more exciting because this is closer to what the industry profession does. Like I said, between finance, costing profession, or even MBAs, strategic consultants, a lot of big fours, etc. That gap is getting reduced. Most of the CEOs look for decisions. And decisions, they will like who can provide the quick decision that they can take so that the company can get evolved. At that point of time when taking decision, it doesn't matter, whether you are a MBA or whether you are a chartered accountant, etc. So I just want all of you to keep that in background, look at technology from that angle. Okay. What I'm going to cover today is how is our profession going to deal with technology? How have we evolved over a period of time? And what are the latest trends today that I see and how the profession is going to turn this around? Because that's going to be very important. Like as Kiran mentioned, right? Because we work together as part of the AI board here. That's okay. This is fine. This is okay. Is okay? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, okay, cool. So today what I'm going to do is how is our profession dealing with all these changes? How is the industry evolving over a period of time? And what is that we can do and some few takeaways. Again, let this be more of a sessions where you can ask questions, etc. and then we can help evolve this as well. So with that, let me move to my quick slide as to how the business has got evolved. Just check this. What's no? Boss. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So if you look at the journey, right, as most of the costing professional we have, and a lot of people here in the room are. When I started, right, people used to write in pen, paper. That was very, very traditional way of doing costing in our profession. I think then evolved computers. There are a lot of computer, where people used to do costing with various different tools, techniques using computer, spreadsheets, etc. That was in 50s, 60s, 70s as such. Then probably started with activity-based costing and strategic management, right? When ABC started, hey, look, how do we get our companies getting onto ABC as a profession? Most of you would have seen that. I think that got evolved. And then, like Kiran talked about digital transformation, big data, cloud, and IoT. Why this was a very, very important thing because industry revolution started. A lot of industry from analog devices moved into digital devices. So they were able to produce data. We had, ERP, the big data coming in, bringing a lot of structured, unstructured data into the fold. So that was really the digital transformation era that happened. And I think it's still continuing in some industry, but some industries have moved away from there into the digital transformation. Last but not the least, I would talk about AI, the machine learning, and the predictive costing. I think when I spoke about predictive costing, because that is what the industry is more about. If you give them a cost saying that, hey, look, last month, in the month of January, this happened, it is already 2 months old. It is dead, right? Nobody is going to look at it going forward. What we need is what is the next set that's going to come and what is the decision you are going to make out of it. That is what is the most important thing in the industry that's going to come up. Okay, so that is what I'm going to spend more time here. I think, as Kiran spoke about, technology is evolving very, very fast. And again, I'll be telling you, the speed in which AI is being implemented or the changes that are happening in AI, even not just India, but outside of India, that, the development that's coming up. And again, I can give you one example. Kiran shared something, where quality inspection is done 100% in a bottling company. That is just a tip of the iceberg. Okay, for that you need a lot of samples. Samples have to be uploaded. Good and bad have to be done. But going forward with a lot of, you don't need that level of sampling. You need one or two type of sampling, and the model itself will start learning it. So there are examples that can come up saying that, hey, look how things are getting transferred. And why is cost management going to be very important? The reason being, industry is in a very, very high-tech speed where the competition is going to be severe. When competition starts, what is going to happen? The CEOs will look at you, meaning the CMA professions or the finance profession, where all things can be reduced, where all cost can be taken out, where all inefficiencies can be removed. Because no customer is going to pay for inefficiency, right? And that's what is going to be the key differentiation between technology and finance professionals. We have to be ready for that. Okay, I will talk about it. This is a little bit of a subject, why our traditional method will not work going forward. Okay, if you keep on doing the same thing that we were doing in the past, it's not going to work. Like what were we doing? We used to do traditional approach was single overhead rates, monthly reporting cycles. Okay? Then we had siloed financial data. Kiran spoke about it, different databases, different systems. We were very, very siloed approach. We were very, very reactive. After the event has happened, we will start analyzing. After the month-end close has happened, we will do. We will do after the quarter cost audits, right? Those are all will not work going forward. And, black box calculation, where the logics have been built, we start using it. We produce a report, we do a PowerPoint presentation and present for all the past data this has happened. Nobody will be interested going forward in looking at it. That's dead, I would say. Okay, you may see that, but it is not going to last for long. What is going to be the modern reality? Modern reality will be multi-driver allocation. Business is changing so fast. Methodology of allocations will keep changing. What the industry needs, we'll have to start evolving towards it. Second, real-time monitoring, right? Nobody would like to know after 30 days books are closed, next month 15th I get my reports. That's very, very difficult to deal in an industry that is fast-paced. Fast-paced industry need real-time data, real-time decision making. Okay, so we'll have to move towards how can I do instant visibility of data. Integrated data, like what I mean by integrated, like, you have an ERP, you have CRM. CRM is going to be very important to know what the market trends are going to be. Okay, as well as supply chain management. Today, with so much of supply chain getting disturbed, you need really good SCM methodology. You need to integrate these data to make decisions. Predictive and prescriptive. Just being predictive is not going to be useful. You have to make sure that you are prescriptive about it. Decisions are taken so fast today that, and again, I'll give you an example. Should I buy components from Vietnam or should I buy components from Taiwan? That's an important decision because there are a lot of things that gets decided based on that data. And those decisions have to be taken immediately. I can't wait for a month end to make that decision. Right? So those are very, very important. And again, using tools like AI, which can help you with some of these, will be going a long way. And as a finance profession, like, look, in my company, I have to stand in front of board and explain with full transparency as to what's happening. Even though my CEO sits next to me, but that doesn't matter at all. He would expect you to analyze the business and analyze the data, tell the story behind that number, and again, not just story, but also recommendation as to what the business should be doing from my perspective. That's the kind of expectation as you go there, you will have to be ready with that. And if you are not able to do it, somebody else will do it. And you'll have to be ready for it. So be as you know, in the industry, if you have to be on a position of a CFO, you will have to be ready with these type of the modern reality that is going to come there. It's not going to be the traditional way of doing it. I used to do it the traditional way, but I have learned the hard way that I have to move towards the other side of it. And unless you do that, it is going to be extremely difficult as we go forward. Moving on. Let me give some new age formalities, and again I'll speak a little bit about. A lot of people know about activity-based costing, so I won't get into there. But it's important to know us because that's where the revolution of our costing industry started. Okay, it cannot be a one single, everything fits into one bucket. It needs to be activity by activity. Where are the cost drivers? Where are the cost levers? Knowing about it, analyzing it, and getting into the right buckets is going to be important. The other thing is the zero-based budget. That's on this thing. Zero-based budget also started evolving as people said, hey, look, I used to get a budget and I used to use it, but every year management's expectation is how can I reduce my overhead budgets by doing a zero base. If there are things that have not been used, it's not going to get again, right? So those are traditional way. Let us look at the right hand side. I really like the target cost and market driven. Today, costing is not about traditional way of doing it. It is driven by market. When I mean, what do you mean by market driven? And again, I'll give you an example. How many of you have seen cell phones, right? Cell phones, every 6 months, 3 months, there will be a model change that happens. And how does a cell phone industry make money, or the hardware company? I don't know how many have you seen Samsung plant in Korea. The way they do manufacturing and they look at their roadmap, in a year they will have at least 8 to 10 models of roadmaps minimum. This is one line of will have that, and there will be even more than that going forward. What do? Is they don't go the traditional way of costing. The way they do costing is they will look at, hey, look, what does a cell phone sell at? This will sell at $100. Okay, that's the maximum that this can sell at this model. So they fix first the selling price. They don't fix the cost price at all. And once they fix that selling price, they will decide what should be the cost and what should be the margin that they want to make. They may make loss in some models, they make profits in some models. Overall, they will make some money. Okay, but traditionally, this is the approach that industry will go towards. As competition becomes severe, as product road cycles becomes more and more stringent, the traditional way of costing will move towards a market-driven approach. And CEO's expectation is, look, guys, I can sell only this volume at this price. And that's what your sales guys will tell you. Though that is what the marketing teams will tell you. Whatever I do advertising, whatever I do promotion, whatever I do, this is the volume I can sell. Beyond this, if you want to sell, I need to have a differentiation. Cost can be a differentiation, pricing can be a differentiation. Okay, so once you fix your market volumes, market price, then cost becomes saying that they will tell you, so you go and figure out how can I get to this cost level. Whether you can go and buy from Vietnam, source it from China, make it in India, wherever, but I need this to be my cost. Can you get me this cost? Okay, that is where the supply chain teams will come in. That's where the manufacturing teams will come in. That's where any other innovations will start to think about. And that is where shop floor innovation, that is where supply chain innovation, that every field or every function will start dealing with innovation because they need to meet that target cost because your market is not going to give you more than $100. Okay, that is the next level of decision making that needs to happen where target costing is market driven and nothing to do with, you have 50 people, 30 people. Let us take software as an industry. Today you see software industry have so many people doing, maintenance, etc. Companies cannot afford it. The CEO of, Amazon or somebody said, The only way I can show this profit to the Wall Street is to reduce so much of amount of cost. Okay, because that is how decisions will be made going forward. It has to be, hey, look, if I have to achieve this profit, if I have to achieve this sales, this is the cost, this is my cost envelope. Beyond that cost envelope, I cannot afford. Affordability becomes a big, big issue here. If you are not able to manage your affordability as a finance profession, you will have a lot of difficulty explaining to the streets, explaining to the investor community, explaining it to bankers and financial institutions. Okay, that's where the target cost market driven happens. Life cycle costing, that's very, very important as we go along. Lot of industries spend money on R&D. Today, somebody said AI, right? Enormous amount of dollars are being spent on AI. Enormous amount of dollars are being spent in pharmacy companies, defining different drugs, defining different methodology of doing it. There you cannot say, I will load all my cost into one product and see whether, it doesn't work. You will have to look at the life cycle. Products will evolve, new technologies will come, and seeing, hey, look, is my life cycle cost, going to be reasonable, including, the environmental, carbon tax and ESG metrics also coming into the fold. This is how the industry is going to evolve from a life cycle point of view. Again, I'll pause if there are questions after this presentation. Okay, let me talk about some key trends on the transformation. As we go along this, right, there are tools that can help us. It's not that, I'm doing today using just my Excel spreadsheet, etc. No, there are tools, there are techniques that can be used. There are things that are evolving as well. I would talk about AI. I think a lot of people today have spoken about AI, but I want to give you one quick example. Okay, it is not, moving beyond basic automation. Today, a lot of us use AI as a, putting a query and asking, hey, look, what happens, and then we review it, etc., etc. It's going beyond that. Like structured data, getting a lot of data off the shop floor, getting a lot of data and integrating that data to make business decisions. That is the whole idea of why we should be using AI. It's not just about querying and doing presentations or mails, etc. It's going beyond that. And then seeing what risks and opportunities we have using that data. If I take this decision, is it going to work or not work? There may be 10 cases where it works, 20 cases it may not work, but at least you know where we stand. I'll also talk about digital twin. How many of you have heard about it? But this is some concept that's going around in a lot of places. Like agile methodology of software development, even digital twin does various scenarios before we implement it. And those are done just to make sure that we don't get wrong when we make a decision. Especially large decisions are taking using digital twins where replicas are done, simulations are done, saying that, hey, look, what happens if I have to invest in a country? What happens if I have to invest in some other technology? What happens if I have to market my products in a different way, brand it in a different way? That is where a lot of simulation with resource optimization. What is the best way to do it is what happens in digital twin. Next is, I don't know how many of you support a CEO of a company. No CEO wants today, if you go there without a recommendation and a decision with data. A lot of people would like to say, hey, look, give me something where I can look at data and make decisions. So that's going to be the institutional going forward. And again, he wants us to come with data that's forward-looking and he can make a quick decision out of it. So that's where a lot of organizations are going towards. Risk analysis is another area. Given that today, you have external risk, internal risk, security risk, cyber security, huge amount of risks are there in a business today. Nobody knew that the economy is going to move in a direction that we are looking today. Where there are war, there is disruption in the supply chain models. There are a lot of technology that are, bringing in new things. How are we going to deal with those if we don't have a data-driven risk analysis? So that's going to be the key. Sustainability, very, very important. Huh? A lot of companies, especially when you are outside India, you will know that how important sustainability is, how important environment is, especially in the European Union or even in Canadian markets or even in the US markets. Sustainability is going to be key. I think India is catching up very, very quickly on this. The environmental is going to be the key driver, and whatever is the cost that going to be associated with that is what we need to start capturing in our, as part of our management reporting, etc. What I would say is, CMA, in my view, will play a very, very important role, because you guys will be the pivot, or I would say the circle of influence, where you know that, hey, look, what's happening in marketing, what's happening in sales, what's happening in engineering, what's happening in my production floor, and you have access to data. That's the biggest advantage a CMA or a finance professional will have. And if you have that, don't let it go, right? Use that data to make sure that you are setting your tone at the top with the management. That's with using all these tools and techniques. I like that very important topic, right? Behind every decision, a CMA is there, right? So behind every successful business decision, I think we have the data, we have the power, we have the tools, and let us make sure that we use that. Okay, that's going to be the most powerful thing. And this is my conclusion slide, and let us see what are the key takeaways out of this session. Costing is evolving, right? And it has evolved, and it will keep evolving as we go forward as well. With technology coming in, ERP, data, is over a period of 40 years, we have seen so many changes that have happened. But going forward, the adoption and the transformation will be even faster. Okay, so that's one of the key takeaway. I think costing from a basic finance function is moving into a strategic business weapon for competitive advantage. Like I said, people will use costing to see how can I increase my sales volume, how can I bring competition. If I can get a same cell phone at a $10 cheaper, but make the same amount of profit margin and my costs are lower, today, people will go and buy that product. So the disruption in the market can be severe if you know that you are managing your cost well, you are able to differentiate that in the market. So costing is becoming a differentiated lever now. Okay, not from a traditional way of looking at it. It's people, the CEOs are using, hey, look, help me understand how can I get my cost efficiency so that it becomes a differentiated pricing mechanism, a differentiated me in my market, I can increase my volumes, etc. So that's moving. ERP, AI, cloud, blockchain have become essential infrastructure. It's not so much, every industry is starting building it. Over a period of time, that will become the basic infrastructure for us, okay? On which the costing will run around, different decisions will be taken around. So this is going to be there. Many of the companies have adopted ERP. I think AI, IoT, many of them have. Cloud, I think, people are using it. For modern cost management, this is going to be the key thing. I spoke about digital twin, blockchain, right? Those are digital, they call it now as digital costing. I have not seen many, but a lot of people say that, hey, look, we are moving from a traditional costing into a digital costing. And what does digital costing is? The digital twin, where you can simulate a lot of scenarios. There are AI tools that can help you simulate that. But again, they use the digital twin to do it. Blockchain. Blockchain is really helpful when you are in a supply chain where you have contracts, where people will look into contracts and say, which is the best way of supply chain for me? Whether I should buy Vietnam, China, Indonesia. Many markets are there, and today most of them can produce what you need at different cost levers, and that is what this blockchain can help you give you a very competitive advantage in a real-time visibility, right? You will be able to get it on a real time. As we move forward, as I said, organizations that treat cost management as a growth driver, intelligent investment, and not, hey, look, I fully agree, as a professional, we have to do cost audit, cost records, etc. But going forward, it should be a competitive tool, competitive advantage for us, and we as a professional should use it as a growth driver. When I mean growth driver is, how do I help businesses grow? Because growth is going to be the key for success. If you don't grow, cost cutting will come. There are a lot of pains that we have to go through if, business doesn't grow or industry doesn't grow. So growth is going to be the key for growing. And then, intelligent investment. Where do I make investment? Because today the resources are very, very limited. If you go to a PE or an investor and ask him to invest, he's not going to invest in your company. He would like to look at, hey, look, what is that you are doing? What is that you are able to show me the growth? Where are the growths that you are going to, before he makes any investment call? And then, use your costing as not, hey, look, I saved $50, $10, $20. Everyone will do it. But what are you going to do with that saving? Where are you going to invest that money? Are you going to invest in R&D? Are you going to invest in buying new technology? That's going to be the key important thing. So costing is evergreen field. I love it. I use it extensively for pricing, for decision making. Okay, I don't do with all this, record, costing, etc. Though I'll do it, but majority of my time I spend on decision making, pricing, evolving, right? So that's going to be the most powerful thing in the industry as we go forward. This is what I wanted to share. I would love to get any feedback or any questions that you have, but I'm happy to take. We have implemented a lot of AI tools for the industry also today, but as Kiran said, it takes time and you need to be ready for it. We see a lot of CEOs, business who are not still ready, but they would love to take it, but you have to be ready for it. With this, sir, I'm going to open up. Yes?
I have a question. So, actually, I would like to hear your thoughts, not solution or something. The problem we see in the industry is any company which is 5 crores to 200 crores, especially in the range of 5 to 100 crores and 100 to 200, they don't implement costing. One is that, and even if above 100 crores. Hello. Yeah. Even if they implement costing for the heck of it above 100 crores because it is mandatory, it may or may not be mandatory depending on the industry they are in. They don't implement it seriously. So basically, they are not interested to reap the benefits of costing implementation. So even if they implement, it will be done by a CA, not a CMA. So how do we really, as I said, I'm not expecting you to give the solution. It's basically for all of us. How do we really bring that awareness that CMA is there who can actually add value to your business, top line, bottom line? How can we really make sure that in this MSMEs or SMEs to make sure they implement costing system? Then comes the AI and all those things. First of all, basic costing system will not be there. They only do accounting because it's statutory.
Okay, look, it's a great question, but I'll ask you answer this question in a slightly different way. If you are a CEO of a company, do you invest in putting a costing, or do you go and say, hey, look, costing is great, don't take me wrong. But if you are a CEO of a company, you would first like to look at how can I grow my top line? Okay? How can I bring more profitability into the business? If these are your two parameters, growth, profitability, growth, profitability.
Even
Cost-
then costing is required.
Costing is required. Don't take me wrong. That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
said
Yeah.
costing is required. But fundamentally, the day I come to the office, for me, growth, profitability. Okay, that is what I look for.
Correct.
To do that, what do I need? I need good cost. Right? I should know where my cost stands today. And that can be done in two ways. You can implement a costing system. You can look at your P&L to know your cost. Okay? Roughly.
Yes.
Roughly, yes. Okay? You can know your cost. But, so I would say that, hey, look, costing is good. We should implement it. But if I am a CEO, my view is whether a CA gives me that data, CMA gives me data, MBA
doesn't
gives
matter.
me data,
Doesn't
matter to me.
Correct.
For me, what I need, growth, profitability. Okay?
Correct.
That's it. So, all of you should remove your hat and say, I'm a CMA, I'm a CA, I'm a MBA, I'm this, I'm that. That differentiation is going to go away.
I take back that. That's fine.
No. You asked that question is very important for all of us
that's
to
true.
be aware.
The crux of the matter is I wanted the industry people to look at their cost. Basically, they may know the cost, but in terms of prime cost and variable cost, they are not in a position to see that, so that they can take the right decision.
Agreed. So, if I'm a just to add to your one more point that I wanted to make. So, as we start evolving the industry, right, costing is important. But for making decisions, let us equip ourselves and not say that, okay, this is my area of boundary, this is the CA's boundary,
Agreed.
this is the ACS boundary. That will go away, sir. That is going to
No, we already are in CA's boundary, so
yes, yeah, and I'm telling you, CMA can do much better than a CA. I have seen that. Okay, and that's why I said a CMA has plant knowledge, a knowledge of shop floor. He knows variable and fixed cost. He can make and say, hey, look, a CEO, you go ahead and sell. We are able to cover my variable cost. Let us look at the fixed cost once we reach certain threshold.
True.
Those decisions, I would say, can be made, and CMA are in a right spot to do it. Again, I'm not saying CS. CS are pretty good. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying CMAs are bad, though. But when I am in an industry, I work for about 30, 40 years in different industry. For me, that differentiation is gone. I am as good as a CA, or I am as good as a CEO of the company. I want to run this as my company. When I am running it as my company, I'm okay as long as I'm able to get data, I'm able to make decision, I will go with that. I don't really, as a CEO of a company, I don't really look at, he's a CA, he comes from MBA, he comes from IIM Bangalore, IIM Ahmedabad. No, I need my data. I need to make decision today. That's it.
agree, sir. Thank you.
Yes, please.
I'd like to add one thing here. It's not that CFOs or finance person doesn't have the cost data. They are very well aware of it because they are taking pricing decisions. So it is only that minute details if they require, and where cost audit is applicable, the cost auditors, if they are doing a very good job, they can add value. Otherwise, cost records and all, if it is there or not, they have some records, basic, they know. At the tip of their fingers, any CFO in any company knows what is his cost, what is his marginal cost, what is his fixed cost. Everything it is there. So it is not that they don't have, since cost records are not there, they don't have cost, they are not aware of their cost. No. If they are not aware of their cost, they cannot sit in that position. That's what I want to add.
Agreement. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I have one question. So this is about the change management that we were speaking. So now the time is like we are building on the GCCs, especially in the corporate, and we are coming from the waterfall mechanism to the agile. So how do you think AI will be a enabler into bringing this agile mechanism, or will they go in hand, or it will be extra cost as to put together?
On the GCC side you are asking, or okay?
Both.
Okay.
Both on the client and the GCC.
Okay. Hey, look, first of all, GCC coming into the country is for two reasons, right? One is cost arbitrage. Definitely that is there. Second thing, knowledge. Where you have skill and knowledge in the industry, where they know that this can be done, you are moving GCCs and trying to get the data. Second question, to answer your question on AI, right? AI should be an enabler, I would say, okay? It is not something that, like, you know, when you got into ERP, what was the decision when you got into ERP? Because, you know, there is efficiency, there is productivity gains, there is decision-making data that you will be there. You can make quick decision. So AI will also follow that similar approach where you will be able to use AI, and you know, you should say, when we implemented AI in a bottling company for inspection, there were about 28 people that were doing manual inspection is being done by a machine. So what do you get? 100% inspection, rejections being lower, productivity improvement. Those are the benefits. So ROI will start to come. So as you implement your AI, you need to look at what ROI is going to come. And again, like Kiran mentioned, you cannot do a big bang of AI. You should know which areas in the business you want to implement, what ROI you can get out of that AI, and you can start doing it. And as CEOs, CFOs, they look at what ROI AI can give me. No industry is going to just take an AI and say, I will do it. They'll say, you do your, you come and put a AI module here, let me see it for 6 months trial, I will see, and then only he places order. So even though I'm in a AI business, it's not easy to sell an AI product to an industry. It is extremely difficult. They look at ROI, they look at 6 months of data, they'll say whether this can be done, data they don't give it. So, there are various. So to answer your question short, yes, it will take time, but it has to be a value-added decision for implementing AI, whether it is in GCC, manufacturing, but even in GCC, yes, AI will implement coding jobs, design jobs, industry which can be done with rule-based things will be AI-driven, and some of the people will migrate into high value-added jobs. So that shift is going to happen. Questions? Anybody else from the audience? Yeah, please.
Okay, so thanks for the session, sir. So I just have one question. So in this dynamic world, the systems are moving so fast. So till yesterday we were learning Python, then we came to machine learning, now it's AI. So if I keep on learning, so where's the end? So how do I cope up with these kind of changes? So that's my question. Thank you.
Sir, as a human being, and this is me, Suresh, as speaking, you will learn till you die. You have to be ready for it, right? Learning is a continuous process, sir. You cannot stop learning, okay? And again, I'll give you, as a childhood, right? You learned English language, you learned music, you learned art, you learned, so, you learn. So it's, as you grow older, you have learned Python, you have learned coding, you learn. Again, going forward, you learn. So be open to learning, be open to change, embrace that change, that will become easy. If you stick on to what you are doing, somebody will overtake you. So that would be my answer to your question, sir.
So the follow-up question,
Yeah.
Suppose we have, somebody is going for the implementation of AI or whatsoever it is, considering the current scenario of not having very accurate laws to govern or regulate the AIs. And the only thing that we had recently is the DPDP. So do you think that it may somewhere affect going forward? Once we have developed something and implemented, maybe there is suddenly a law. So how these things should be designed considering the future law, because we don't have any concrete law as of now to govern the AI things.
Yeah. Hey, so I would say like Europe is implementing very stringent laws on AI. It will evolve, but that doesn't mean you have to redo the whole thing. There will be system governance that they'll put. They'll put checks and balance like UPI. When we started UPI, digital currencies, etc., it was not very, but over a period of time, things have started to become tighter and tighter and tighter, right? So, including now, like I was reading something where some state government has implemented that, social media cannot be used by certain.
Karnataka.
Okay. So
16
what
years.
they'll do is they'll look at your age, your date of birth, and say, hey, look, these are things you cannot use it, etc. So it doesn't mean you will have to redo the whole thing. There will be checks and balances, governance that will come on. But what is happening, I'll tell you. AI is going at 60 or 70 miles an hour. And regulators, people, governance are trying to catch up with that. There will be gap. And that gap at some point of time will have an intersection that will come in. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
It is just part of our CMA fraternity. And
Sorry, I did not follow your first.
Sorry, as we are conducting on the Karnataka CMA Convention 2026, as we are all belongs to the CMA fraternity and we are just completed the national convention, SARC convention, and we are coming back to the state level convention that is for Karnataka. So we have our central committee members here and SARC members here, and these all members are here now. So I would suggest that how far, asked about how, when we are starting the learning and when we are after completing the CMA, when we are starting learning for another add upon the degrees and diploma which we have. So my question is whether, question to the institute as well as for the speaker, because no, I just asking him for his suggestion only, not a crucial questions to answering, because how you can advise the CMA or our institute administrators that to approach the AI knowledge or approach the technology advancement, whether it is how far it should be included in the syllabus, or you should approach this much classes in based on the AI or technology advancement after procuring a CMA degree.
Great. Yes. Good question. Yeah.
Sir, already we have taken care of implementing in syllabus 2026. No, I will tell you, new syllabus will come in by December 2026 syllabus. It is covering. Regarding that AI learning, already we are doing a AI Pravesh actually.
Correct.
Okay, already it is happened in 3 metros. April 17 to 21st, it is happening in Bengaluru also.
Yeah.
4 days physical program, AI Pravesh for CMA and all cost and management accounting, even finance people can come and learn actually. Institute doing a sustainability board is there. It is doing a sustainability, even we have brought out 2 sustainability standard. This is the first kind of all the 3 professional institute. Are you gone through it? 2 sustainability, actually it is worldwide it is the first institute to bring out the sustainability standards. Okay, institute is doing this thing. The only problem is most of people are not seeing our website, not getting updated. That is the issue, sir. I think, no. Yeah, it's there. That's there. We are doing, sir. Even also we are having advanced board studies, so it's conducting so many certification courses, sir. From internal audit to treasury management to everything actually, okay. I think second part, sir will answer.
Sir, thank you for that. I would strongly recommend everyone to look at that AI Pravesh that he spoke about. The institute has taken a lot of initiative, especially on the AI committee, etc., and they are doing it. We also, first and foremost, I would say, look, I would say what is that I can as a CMA give back to the institute. I was not in the institute in India for long. I've come back and I met Mr. Ramaskanda one day and I told him that, hey, look, I want to give back something to the institute. Okay, so first and foremost, all of us should have this thing to say, what is that I can give back to the institute? That's number one. Second thing I would say, and this is my personal experience, I may be wrong, 20% of learning comes from the books, training, institute, etc. 80% is you. Okay? So people can bring a cart or a horse to the water but cannot make it drink. You means me or you have to know, have curiosity for technology and learning. If you have that, and I will give you an example. How many have you seen recently Claude giving up, okay, Google and Claude, have you guys heard of it, right? They are giving $10,000 worth of certification courses free of cost. Okay, make use of it. There is resources, abundant resources across. Okay, it is only you have to take your first step and start learning. Okay, there are courses. It's not that it is not there. There are. So don't depend on what is institute doing, what is my syllabus going to give me. No, what is you are doing. Okay, first you have to figure that. Once you figure that out, institute will be a supplement for it. Okay, so these are two of my sincere recommendation. So let us all, as whether you are a CFO or have that curiosity to learn. Look at what is happening around you. Look at what is happening next to you. Look at what is happening in the business. That is going to help you, sir. And I will be there. All these people will be there. Use us. I am available 24/7 for anybody who wants my help. Okay, I can help. So use wherever I can help you out. So these are resources. Make use of it. Network. You get to know people. And yeah, sorry. Yes, yeah, that's what I would say. So that is part of the institute and what we want to contribute back to the institute. Yeah, yes. So regarding AI, institute is taking a lot of efforts, by the way. I would tremendously say that the work they are doing is very, very good. No doubt about it. And the Pravesh is not being done in Bangalore alone. They are doing across India. And it takes a lot of effort that the institute is putting together. So I would say that. Thank you. Any other questions or how much time I have? Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.